What's up? How's it going?
Good, bro. Just March Madness was wild, just watching all the basketball games. Literally, last weekend is literally the best weekend. And then, everything else from here is a little less exciting now that Kansas is out. But
I just want to tie in everybody. Anyone who missed last week's show, Brad claimed 4.5 championships for
I
Kansas,
did
and I am proud to announce that there will not be
five and a
another
half.
after their loss. I don't even. Who did they lose to? I don't
St.
even.
John buzzer beater,
That's
a
right.
kid who had not scored the entire game called ISO and made a layup.
I picked
Good on
St.
him.
John's to win, so that feels good for me.
Yeah, I won't say what I did.
He definitely picked St. John, so fake Kansas fan.
Not fake, realistic Kansas fan. Let's be real.
You can't pick. You can't pick against him.
You can, just if you're realistic.
Sure. Yeah, and then I'm not realistic. I will
No.
always pick my team. All right. So I mean, today we're kind of talking some of the West Coast college football stories from last week. Not a ton that's happened, but we're talking. There's some updates on Utah State, San Diego State, Wyoming, and then one of the big topics is the WAC, or the dissolving of the WAC. That's not necessarily new, but we're going to dive into that a little bit today. And then, of course, everyone's favorite segment, Ask Brad.
Did get 2 questions right last week. We'll see how today goes, I guess.
I think you're batting like what, 2 for 8 or something, 2 for 6.
Sounds
Something
like
like that.
I'm almost in the Hall of Fame. I need a 300 average. I'm almost there. We'll get there today.
Well, I got 2 questions for you today, so we'll see.
Okay, so it
We'll
could
see what you
happen
do.
today. Stay tuned. All right, so let's open it up. Utah State starts their spring ball today or this week. They started on March 17th, and their coach was very optimistic about their turnaround. In a press conference that he had with either a school reporter or somebody associated with their football program, he said that they actually were able, with a lot of transfers as we see from G5 schools, and we're seeing it more and more and more with how much money kids are getting. And I understand it's hard to pass down some money. I totally get that. But he said that they were actually able to roll over their roster turnover. They got 52 spots filled, which is pretty good for a school that kind of had a mediocre year last year to
Yeah.
get transfers and keep some key players for them. Some in his video, he said that Utah State was able to keep some captains on the team too, which is great because of course they are a huge part of your schemes, of your practices, of your, everything that has to do with your football program. And so I think Utah State fans should be pretty optimistic about what they're seeing from Utah State so far. I know that everybody's optimistic during spring ball. Maybe not UTEP, but everybody else is optimistic. But I think they could end up being a pretty quick rebuild in the West. I think they might crack the top 4 for football this season. What do you think?
Top 4 as in, like,
As in,
all
sorry,
Western teams?
of the
Or
new
the
Pac-12. I think the
of
new
the new
Pac-12 they
Pac-12?
could get top 4.
Yeah, I think it's probably realistic. I mean, they weren't, like, an awful team this last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was a big they don't think they had to have a big rebuild necessarily. They Bryson Barnes is gone, he graduated, obviously he was pretty solid for them this year. A lot of people thought he should have won, like, player of the year for the Mountain West, and ended up being Calandria. So, it'll be like, quarterback play will be interesting. I think just like every other team, football is driven by quarterback play. You drop the ball at quarterback, then it's all up in the air. So, it'd be interesting. It's the same question for a lot of these schools: is who's going to be quarterback? Is the quarterback going to be helpful? Is it going to be successful? And it all starts there. So I think there'll be some surprises at quarterback, like we saw with Hawaii. I don't know a ton about Utah State's quarterback situation at this point. Obviously, we'll follow that as spring ball continues to go. I'm also curious what the leash is for Bronco Mendenhall, but I think they've been pretty successful.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably take 2 rough years, I'm guessing, for him to be out, but you never know. But in other
Yeah.
news, not related, but Utah State basketball's their coach just left again. They're
For
now going to be on
Arizona
like their.
State, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think they're now on. This is the 6th coach in like 7
Yeah.
years. I mean, it's just so it's a school not necessarily football related, but like they've always had a lot of turnover in terms of coaching staff. So, fans of Utah State probably are tired of it and are ready
Yeah.
for some just stability there. And I think hopefully we'll see what this year can look like for them.
Yeah. Um, Sneaky story about Utah State. Today, it came out. It was either today or yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was today. Utah State schedules Utah in the next coming years. They have a home and home against each other. A lot of Utah people on X are speculating that Utah might be in talks to join the new Pac-12.
No,
I
there's no
doubt
chance.
that's going to happen, but that would be an interesting thing to follow. I don't think they're the first domino to fall back to the Pac-12. I think one of the California schools, either Cal or Stanford, would be the first move. Probably
I think
Stanford. They're
I just
struggling
don't think
big
it
time.
makes. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense for Utah, like
I don't think
financially.
no.
I think they'll have it. They're better off being in the Big
Mhm.
12. They also just like being in the Big 12 renewed the holy war with BYU, and so it's like,
Right.
do you? I don't know. There's just some of that stuff that you would lose that rivalry, but Utah State is a pretty big regional rivalry. Um, it's just like I look at 2031, 2033, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty close, and I'm like, it's like 5 years away.
It's 5 years. Yeah, it's when Idaho plays Boise State again for the first time.
I know, and it's like that's another one I'm looking forward to, but I'm like, I gotta wait 5 years.
5 years. Yep, we have a whole nother Olympic cycle before we get there, so
It sucks.
it's wild. Yeah. So anyway, that's a new thing that's coming up for Utah State. Obviously, we just said it's 5 years away, but at least the fans get a regional game again. I know Mountain West was pretty regional already, but
Mhm.
this is an out of conference regional battle, which is great for the state of Utah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be curious. It'll be interesting to see what happens, like in terms of conference alignment long term for them. They were in the Mountain West at one point. I doubt that they leave the Big 12. It doesn't make a
They're
lot of
doing
sense
too
as it stands
well.
right now. They would need there's that, and I guarantee they would need some of the other former Pac schools to leave. They're
To
not going to be
move.
I don't imagine them being the first one. They're already
Right.
dealing with the fallout of their coach leaving,
Yeah.
and it looks like there's some rocky stuff coming out about that and how that was handled and money being owed and all this stuff. So I don't think that they'd do it anytime soon. But like the regional matchups, I love it. It's like Boise State. Like I grew up going Boise State and Oregon State games, Boise State Oregon games. Those are fun games when they're because you always know people. Like I grew up knowing Oregon State fans, and it was like, hey, when Boise State beats you guys, I get to wear my stuff on Monday morning and be all pumped up.
Right.
And likewise for them. So I know Boise is going to get their butts kicked on week one, but still, like
Yeah, we need
having
that.
those type of having those type of games are always fun for
Yeah.
especially non-conference teams you don't play very often.
Right. Yeah. So Utah State fans, you're looking up. In my opinion, I think
How they
you're in
play
a great
Boise.
spot. Yeah. We'll just have to see how the rest of your spring looks. We'll see you after spring ball and establish who your quarterback is, and we'll just see from there. Moving on, we got San
The
Diego.
good
Oh,
thing for Utah State fans is their basketball team will always be good.
true. You
Your
guys
football
are a
team may
basketball
suck,
school,
but your
man.
basketball team will always be good.
Dude, they're gonna
You
compete
guys
with
will be
Gonzaga next year. Top two dogs in the Pac-12
I don't think,
easily.
realistically, and it's tough because Gonzaga, like, I don't think Gonzaga is going to always be the top team in the Pac-12.
It'll be interesting. You saw St.
I
Mary's. I mean,
yeah.
St.
I
Mary's
mean,
was their biggest competition. Oregon
even
State wasn't anything to
Santa
write home
Clara,
about. Yeah,
Santa
they had a
Clara
good
made
year.
it this year, but
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I mean, it's always year to year. They're always going to rebuild, but like, the Pac-12 could be got some solid basketball schools.
it's gonna be great. And then when we add
Anyway,
Memphis, man, we'll be solid, bro. Get
yeah,
Memphis in here, bro.
man.
Create a
Yeah.
crazy
Anyway,
basketball league.
I'll stop talking about basketball. We get back to the fun stuff with football.
Speaking of teams that are good at basketball, San Jose State, their spring
San Diego
started
State.
on March 17th.
San Jose
Um,
State is really bad at every sport.
I think they're good at volleyball or beach volleyball.
They might be, but you said San Jose State.
Did I really?
So I'm just gonna make it very clear for everybody who's listening. San Jose State is really bad. San Diego State is kind of bad. That's where we land.
Yeah, I mean, they were the farthest Mountain West team to make a few years ago in the tournament, so there's
San Diego
that.
State's always a tough one.
They're always good, bro.
That's a fun
Yeah.
basketball rivalry. Even
Be
football, it's
high
always a
key
fun one.
best logo, best mascot, the Aztecs. I mean,
I do love the pattern on their helmets. They might have one of the
dude,
sickest
those
helmets.
red and black helmets, bro. Oh my
They
gosh.
might have one of the sickest helmets. I'm not gonna lie.
Literally.
I don't like
Anyway,
I don't like San Diego State all that much, but like even yeah, I made some trading cards for them not like what 2 years ago, and that pattern is like my favorite thing I've ever
It
worked with. It looks good on
so
their
sick.
helmets. It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
sick. I will say that
Yeah.
definitely.
So they started San Diego State started on March 17th, along with that's also when Utah State kind of started their stuff too. I think most schools probably started around that area. Chris Johnson had his NFL combine showing. You can talk more about that in a minute. And then their roster's kind of up in the air to me. I don't know how much they needed to rebuild, and I'm not sure how much of a contender they're trying to be the first year of the Pac.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was as much of a rebuild. I mean, same thing with a lot of these, teams joining the Pac-12 is that they were already kind of the top teams in the Mountain West,
In the
and I
Mountain West, right?
felt like they didn't really need to do a ton. I mean, we live in the world where it's like G5s are always getting poached, so it's like there's always going to be some level of like upkeep in your roster. But I feel like you take that, like if we're just calling that normal, right? Like there's a normal sense of you're going to lose some of your guys. I feel like they're not that far off. Like I'm pretty sure their quarterback's back, and he was all right. He was serviceable. I don't think he can throw the ball well personally. But he's a great runner, and he poses a threat in different ways. But it's like I look back at the Boise State game, for example, and it's like there was zero offense in that game from either
Right.
side. Like they
Yeah.
couldn't get the ball moving. We couldn't get the ball moving. They ended up running the ball, getting the run game going, broke out a couple touchdowns, and that was it. So I think for them, like their defense is still going to be really legit. The offense just needs to try to find a way to keep up. I think if they really want to succeed and they want to be that team moving forward, the offense just needs to pick up a little bit. But I don't feel like it's all that far off. And they obviously had a really good showing. They were like literally, I don't know, they were in the tiebreaker. The
Right.
numbers decided that they weren't going to be in the championship, but
Yeah.
they record wise, they were tied with everyone else at the top. So I think that they will be a team that everyone's going to have to at least, it's not going to be a rollover game. A couple years ago, it was a rollover game. Like Boise State played them, and there were three different quarterbacks that played in that game. I think two of them got hurt, and it was just a blowout. It was like you just knew you were going to absolutely roll them over. And so this year, it's just not the same. So I think they'll be ready to compete in the Pac-12 pretty quick.
Nice. Yeah, I think I mean they're always there. I feel like they're always there. I mean, you always hear they're kind of sneaky, honestly.
It's kind of like one
They're
of those
never
trap
front of
games,
the
I think.
headlines, but they're always
Yeah.
going to be that team that you can't sleep on. If you sleep on them, they're going to pounce on you. If
Well,
you
and I feel like that's what happened with Boise State. They went into San
Yeah.
Diego State, and it was like, oh, this is going to be an easy win. It was a really awful like weather day. They played on a grass field. It was
Yeah.
pouring down rain. Like it was just, but those are the type of games you have to find a way to grind
Mhm.
out and win, regardless of the opponent. And if you don't, you sleep on them. That's what happens. You lose, and then Boise State was stuck in a hole and somehow made it out on top. I felt bad for San Diego State because truly they were the better team. If we were to have played them a second time, I'm not sure we would have won. So if that says anything, you say for San Diego State fans, that's probably the most you'll get from me.
Yeah. Do you have any comments about Chris Johnson's NFL showing? His combine showing? Anything
Yeah,
specific?
I was trying to look and see. I don't know a ton. I know he's a really, he's a standout. I want to say he's a DB. I think he did all right. He measured in 193. He had a 4.40, which is pretty fast. So that that answered any of the questions about his athleticism. 8-inch vert, 10.6 broad jumps, 17 reps on his bench. So he showed like the vert at least showed that he was very explosive. That showed a lot of his, that he had an pretty overall good workout among other DBs. He's probably going to be day one, day two, top maybe 50,
Okay.
maybe top 50. I could see it just depends. Guys like that, I could see he probably won't be day one. That would probably be very, very generous. Speaking of other DBs that are out there, but I think he'd probably be early round, like day two pick. He's got good ball skills. He's always been a really top guy, especially in the Mountain West. He's always been great cover corner. There's some questions about speed. Obviously, he erased that. You know, there's a difference between on-field speed versus combine speed,
Right.
but teams tend to look at combine speed. If you could run fast at the combine, you tend to get drafted high, whether you're good or not. Like we've seen it with wide receivers all the time. I think he'll do all right. I think his combine definitely boosted him up in the conversation more than anything else.
Great. That's awesome for him. Look out for him. It'll be interesting to see where he falls in a month or so. It'll
Yeah.
be a good
I think
time.
we'll see I think we'll see quite a few, Mountain West
We're gonna see a lot.
current Pac-12. Like I think we'll see a lot of those guys end up in the draft that, even like an underdog like guy like George Holani, who was like a beast at Boise State, didn't get drafted, is
Right.
playing considerable minutes for the Seahawks now. So it's like even guys like that,
Yeah.
like I think we'll see a lot of guys like that that go undrafted, but end up playing prominent roles or at least key roles to fill gaps that matter in the NFL.
Right. Yeah. So now we are on to Wyoming. Wyoming announced yesterday that they are starting their practices today. So they got an offensive coordinator, Christian Taylor. He has a new scheme for them this season. And Wyoming's had some pretty rough years. Pretty rough, meaning they've lost to Idaho a few times in the last few years, which
They've had a hard time trying to get back after Josh Allen.
is
Kind of
kind of
ever
tough
since
to,
Josh
yeah,
Allen, they've had a really hard time kind of getting back to at the top. Even with Josh Allen, they were playing in the Potato Bowl. It wasn't like they were the top of the Mountain West, but they're better than they are.
yeah. I think they have a lot of question marks. I hope this new scheme works. I really do like Wyoming. I think they're
It's
playing
one of
a
the toughest. It's one of the toughest places to play too.
that's what I was about to say. Yeah. Playing them in November, good
Hmm.
luck. You don't
Well,
know
it's like
what
yeah, the
it's like the
altitude, the
Bills. That's
snow.
why
Like yeah,
Josh Allen
you
did
have no
so
idea.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So just I really hope for them. They have a really loyal fan base. Their band wears cowboy hats, which is kind of sick. So look for them to hopefully this new offensive coordinator rebuilds their offense a little bit because that's the part of their game that struggled, I think, the most is just not being able to score points or
yeah. There's
effective
been some.
points.
Yeah, there's been some question marks at quarterback. Like their starting quarterback ended up moving to their tight end, and then it was just like there were just a bunch of pieces that they just could never find a groove, and it was trying to shuffle pieces and trying to find who the guy was going to be. And I felt like they're getting closer to figuring out who their identity is, what they want to be. Obviously, with the new offensive scheme, that's going to change a lot. Different guy, pass the ball more, run. You can be a pass team, you're going to run team. That stuff matters. So I think they were
Right.
trying to figure out who they were going to be, and we'll see this upcoming year.
Great. All right. Sad story of the day.
The
RIP the
WAC.
WAC. It's what we grew up watching.
Yeah, it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks for a lot of reasons. Like, yeah, I mean, you look at all the years of Boise State prime in the WAC, like the Idaho Boise State matchup, even like more modern. Like you look at, obviously GC was big in the WAC in recent
Right.
years. Utah Valley has a recent. It's like a lot of that stuff. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks like the Western Athletic Conference to no longer have a Western a Western Conference. Like obviously
Yeah.
we're all about the Western teams, the Western Front, and so that sucks to have a Western Conference kind of eliminated. Um,
Yeah.
Thankfully, all those teams are still they've found good homes in the West, but it's tough. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, a lot of them are going to be playing Texas schools now with the
Yeah,
ASUN Alliance. They're rebranding to the United Athletic Conference. I think we've talked about that a few episodes ago, but
yeah,
still, there's no West in the United Athletic Conference. That could mean anything, which I guess
yeah.
in
So
this
I
day and age is
mean,
very fitting.
yeah. So I mean to break it down for for everyone listening, you guys, it's the WAC, like Brad just said, it's becoming the United Athletic Conference, and three survivors, I guess, like three current teams in the WAC are still a part of it. It's Abilene Christian, Tarleton State, and UT Arlington. And those are kind of like your Texas schools that I would say are like the most West that they have.
Right.
And obviously, we're talking, this is mainly related to basketball. It's probably not related. It is related to football, but it's, we're not going to see it as much. But they're joining the ASUN, which is Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky, Austin, PA, North Alabama, and West Georgia. So it's kind of like another low level Sun Belt conference is what it feels like in terms of like overall geographic position. So you got a lot of those schools in the South and Texas. As for all of our teams in the West, where they're headed, you have Cal Baptist headed to the Big West, along with Utah Valley. Obviously, there was some drama with Utah Valley not paying their exit fee, and they did right before the conference tournament. But they're both headed to the Big West. Southern Utah and Utah Tech are both headed to the Big Sky, which will fit really well in terms of the Big Sky's footprint. I don't like all those schools are Montana, Idaho, Washington, even in Colorado. So like that'll fit really well.
Yeah.
UT, Rio Grande Valley is going to the Southland. So is Stephen F. Austin. And then two of the bigger programs that were currently in the WAC, that like the two big programs that I think of, and I think of the WAC as of recent, it's GCU and Seattle. And GCU is obviously in the Mountain West, and Seattle's going to the West Coast Conference, which are both pretty good fits. You know, when you look at all that, I think when you think of Grand Canyon, like the Mountain West is really the only one that makes sense for a bigger team like that. Like I look at the Big West, the Big Sky, they could fit with the Big Sky, but actually the Big Sky might have been a better fit just because NAU is there, Northern Arizona. But
Just
outside of that,
yeah.
just, you know, in terms of regional matchups, but the Mountain West isn't a bad pick for them.
I mean, they're doing so well in basketball right now.
Playing Wrecker.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be tough for the Mountain West schools that are remaining in the Mountain West. And then I know this is
think
kind of
about
off
it
topic.
this way. The way that, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
You're
like
good.
the Mountain West wanted them to join the Mountain West early. And because of that decision, cost themselves a 3-bid conference. Because GCU wasn't good enough to make the tournament, but they were just good enough to beat San Diego State a couple times, beat New Mexico a couple times, beat Boise a couple times, that they all beat up on each other, and we only ended up with Utah State.
And then GCU lost their auto bid.
And they lost their auto bid.
GCU's auto bid has been their not saving grace, they've earned it. But that's why they've been a name. I mean, that's why we've seen them. We've seen them beat the big teams. We've seen them in the tournament year after year after year because you get that auto bid. But now that the Mountain West was so hurt by the Pac-12, you had to come in and ruin it for yourselves. And now you only got one bid and that team's gone.
Yeah, I mean, they should have just waited the extra year.
Agreed.
Realistically, it would have, I think you don't upset everyone in the conference. It was mainly the Pac-12 schools. I think they've definitely burned the bridge even further with the Pac-12 schools leaving, which, you know, they probably wanted to do. They probably wanted to say, hey, you guys are leaving. This is what we're going to do instead, and try to show them like, hey, we're going to make this move right now.
Yeah.
Obviously,
or
GCU
they were trying to prove that GCU was better than the Mountain West schools. And I mean, they were right up there. I mean, they got they were 4.
Yeah, they were fourth in the conference. Yeah, and you know, obviously it's going to shake out differently for GCU as they'd previously committed to the West Coast Conference. They then left that conference without ever actually playing. So, you know, obviously I don't know how any of that's going to shake out. That's obviously way off, you know, we're way outside of football right now, but it is what it is. You know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But that's kind of the shakeout with the WAC. Obviously, conference year alignments hit everywhere, including the lower levels of FCS and everything else. And obviously, this one conference leaving, just like we saw with the Pac-12, resulted in at least 4 other conferences, including the new one. So 5 other conferences being affected as well.
Yeah. So, in terms of West College sports, what is this going to do? Is this a domino we're going to start seeing? Are we going to start seeing more teams, more conferences start losing money, start losing revenue by adding maybe lower tier teams that they normally wouldn't add to their conferences? Or is this going to actually boost the West Coast by unifying it more and making different conferences relevant again? Or what are we going to see?
Yeah, I think it depends on how you look at it. Like if we're talking from a football standpoint, like the WAC specifically doesn't affect football. But in terms of like the Mountain West,
schools went to the FCS, right?
Yeah, and the WAC was FCS
after we
already.
moved. Yeah.
So that the WAC was already an FCS football level. But in terms of like Pac-12 Mountain West, obviously like that stuff still will shake out, and you could see more changes. Greater question for football is just whether or not there ends up being an FCS or an FBS, and then an FBS 2, and then FCS. Like, does the G5 then split off? Who knows?
And do their own thing, like the big schools want us to do.
I still want to see you know what, kind of like the soccer format, right? You win your conference, you move up. Yeah, the relegation. Like, you
I think
win
that'd
your
be so
conference,
fun.
you move up, you lose, you move down. I think that'd be
That'd be
sick.
so
I don't
fun.
think anybody in the Power 4 is gutsy
Willing to
enough
do that?
to yeah, I don't think anyone's willing enough to do that. You look at the SEC, they're probably too prideful to lose any of their schools and to have another school come in. It's just not gonna we're probably a ways off from that. But in terms of, like, the FCS levels in basketball and, a lot of these smaller conferences, like, I think it helps the Big West a lot. I think it helps the Big Sky a lot. Like, those conferences just grew. They didn't lose anybody. So, like,
Yeah.
all these other conferences, like, no one lost anybody because the WAC disbanded. They
Right.
only just absorbed these other teams. So I think it benefits all these other conferences and probably starts new rivalries because everyone's already geographically close.
Right.
I think that probably helps a lot of the West. It does put up another barrier between, the Midwest and the East Coast, but I think it's beneficial for the Big Sky. The Big Sky, like, even the Big Sky, especially, like, a lot of their fans all root for the other teams. Like, depending on, if it's Montana versus Montana in the playoffs, obviously you're not rooting for Montana, but, like, you want to see the West, you want to see your conference do well in the postseason against other conferences. So,
Right.
in that sense, like, I think it's going to be beneficial.
Last thing on the
It'll probably also continue to happen.
yeah,
I don't think it's the end of the shifting. So,
no way. It can't be. No, just wait till the SEC has 85 teams.
Kansas to the Big Sky.
They need to be in something for football. Just relegate the football team. Everything else is fine.
Basketball team sucks.
So stupid. All right, buddy. All right, last thing on the WAC. What is your favorite memory before the WAC fades from our memory as old 25-year-olds?
It's gotta be Boise State's Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. Like, I can't think of any other moment that's like, and that's obviously I'm a Boise State fan, but like that, even college football, like, you look at that moment, and it was one of the first times a true Cinderella, and this is like before Kellen Moore. So this is like before Boise State became a
Right.
national known brand and was good. Like, to upset an Oklahoma team with Adrian Peterson and, like, a team that was just seen as so dominant. The statue, like, you had the three trick plays ended by the Statue of Liberty, Ian Johnson proposing to his wife after the game. Like, so many things in that moment, like, just are Boise State, West Coast football, and the WAC. Like, that is the WAC. Chris Peterson, that whole era is what I think of when I think of the WAC.
Yeah, I know for a fact my father-in-law watches that game probably once a month, if not once a week. That
Football is
is
just like, there's just a
yeah,
different like feel to the game, even just the game in general. Like, you see trick plays now, but like three trick plays like that,
yeah,
all with the
and
game on the line, like, you just don't
ballsy
see
trick plays,
that.
bro. Like a
Yeah, like, it
pitch,
was like
like
4th and 10. You just don't get that type of
not
stuff.
anymore.
Or even you do see going for two, but like the idea of
That's
going for
nothing.
two to
Yeah.
end it in a moment like that, like, it didn't happen very often, let alone with a trick plays. It's just, yeah, it's got to be one of the coolest moments. Even if you're a Boise State hater, like, it's got to be like, no, that Statue of Liberty play is just so iconic.
The only people rooting for Oklahoma in that point was Oklahoma fans, right? Like, I
Yeah,
guess maybe
probably.
like high
But it's
tier
even
SEC people that were paying players back then. Like maybe they were like, no, we can't let them know
I mean, it's even the
we're
same thing
frauds.
of like, I feel like even if you like, you know, March Madness is a great example of this. Like, you could have your bracket perfect, even like, I don't know, maybe you are this way, but like, as a Kansas fan, like, they're a bigger team. When it's a bigger team playing an underdog and it's close, I think everybody kind of like,
Yeah.
screw my bracket. I kind of want to
No, I
see what
agree.
will happen. So it's like, I
When
feel like it
Duke
was one of
was
those
almost
moments
losing to
where,
Siena this weekend, I was
yeah,
like, bro, I picked Duke to win the whole thing. But like bust my bracket, bro. Be the 16 seed, you know? Yeah. So I think everybody loves a good underdog. I mean, how many sports movies are on underdogs?
yeah.
Rudy? Come on
Well,
now.
you just don't see it very often, especially now. Like, it's hard. It is slowly fading
Well, not
away.
anymore.
Yeah, it's
That's
slowly
a
fading
hot
away with
topic in the
NIL.
sports community right now. Is March
Yeah,
Madness is no longer magic anymore because somebody showed a graphic of the Sweet 16 teams last year that are out of
to
like
this
the
year.
West, and there was one side of the bracket that's exactly the same, and it's all the big teams.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny. I look at the women's the women's like March Madness
Oh,
bracket, and there's like zero upsets. I think through like the first
hardly
round
any.
entirely, like there was
Yeah,
maybe
it's
two, and it's
super
not
chalk.
like, and it's not small teams versus big. It's like
Oh,
Georgia
it's
upset
yeah,
Virginia, and it's like okay, or sorry, Virginia upset Georgia, and it's like all right, it's yeah, it's a seed upset, sure. They're both Power Four programs. I don't like. It's not a like.
right.
I think I watched Virginia for women's basketball. They're a 10 seed. They're on a great run. They're in the Sweet
Mhm.
16.
Yeah,
They were after the game like, oh, no one knew of us. No one was talking about us. I'm like, you guys are a Power Four program in the ACC. Like whether or not you think anyone was talking about you or disrespecting you or whatever, that's great. You're not a Cinderella team like what traditional Cinderella team is. If you were the bottom of the ACC, like maybe I don't know, you had at least had a losing record, and then you went on and you got the auto bid, and then you go on this run. Sure, then you're a
Syracuse tried
Cinderella
to do
team.
that last year. They
Yeah,
stole the bid as like the last place team and did some things, but like Texas is the 11 seed. They had to play in to get in there. Did I pick them against Gonzaga? 100% because they're not a little school.
yeah.
This is
I guess
rocket
that's true.
science.
Yeah, I still
Like
like Texas is one of those teams like this year. Like when you look at that, I'm like they're definitely on the edge of like. I'm not going to say they're a Cinderella team by any means. If they were to go win the national title,
then
you know,
maybe.
when was the last time an 11 seed went or somebody went from the first four to the title? Like, I guess it depends on what you're
Yeah,
qualifying as a
right.
Cinderella. I think like historically the term Cinderella has always been, you know, it's a team that gets this one shot who's never going to make it, like a Wichita State, like those type of schools.
Yeah.
Whereas Texas, you know,
St. Peter's.
every year they have a pretty good chance of making the tournament, even as an at large. Like you have a winning
Right.
record, you're probably going to go.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if you hate underdogs, then we hate you.
Like I feel like West Coast football is just always about being an underdog.
Always
Like
underdog.
even
Minus
even the
Oregon.
Pac-12, like well, even Oregon, nobody ever, and you know, it's how much of it is warranted because they've never won the championship and they choke. Like
Oregon
there's
is the
part of it,
Gonzaga of college football.
but Gonzaga, West Coast team, like both these teams who like make it very far and then they always choke. So it's
They
like
can't do
I think
anything.
that's what I'm saying. There's like this stigma between the teams, and
Is that they just don't
it's
perform.
and they don't
It's
like
kind of warranted in some ways.
UCLA made a run. They made it. San Diego
Great. They
State made
won
a
the
run.
yeah.
They didn't win it. Like it sucks. It really sucks. I'm gonna look this up real fast. I'm curious when the last time a West Coast school won the national championship, and I should probably know this.
Had to be like a UCLA.
Well, I'm thinking more football.
I thought we were still on. No, but UCLA has the most
I know,
basketball
yeah, I know
championships.
basketball.
Yeah.
So
At least
USC,
close to it.
2004,
Okay. 4.
22
So it's not
years
even
ago.
it's not even in our oh my
22 years
goodness.
ago was the last time that a West Coast team won the national title in football.
Was
Oregon
that
lost in
when Reggie
2010,
Bush was that
2014.
Reggie Bush's year? Was that team? I know we were 4, but was that team? You always see the highlights of it, right? Wasn't it in the Rose Bowl? Like, I mean, that's what pops in my head, minus that Texas game too.
There's so many good USC teams that I get them so mixed up in my head. I'm like, there's Leonard in my head, there's Palmer, there's Bush.
Give
They're
him
all
his
stuck in my
Heisman,
head.
bro.
They're all stuck in my head.
People
Yeah,
get
it
paid
was.
now. Give him his
It was.
Heisman.
It was Reggie Bush and Matt Leonard. So it's like, yeah, that was
Okay.
an amazing team. And
Yeah.
Pete Carroll.
Wait, is that
It's
when
been
he
a long
cheated?
time.
That is when he cheated.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Sad. We got to step it
I
up,
know.
man. I mean, we can't do anything about that. Somebody's
Yeah,
got to
dude,
do it.
Let's
Hey,
go.
Dan Lanning, can you go
Let's
win a
get you.
natty, please?
Hey,
You're
Dan
on the
Lanning,
hot seat, brother.
will you recruit Brad Curtis for running back? He is
Yeah,
open and
bro.
ready to go.
I'm
Give him some
5'9",
pads.
215, bro. I got
He's ready.
arthritis. I'm ready, bro.
It's like
You want to see my tape? I'll go run a 40 real quick outside my driveway.
we are going. Brad and I are going to San Francisco this weekend. Go Giants for the opening weekend
Yankees,
with
easy, bro.
Yankees Giants. I'm going.
Yep.
We were going to have Brad do a combine in San Francisco, and we will send it to Oregon, and we will.
Hey, maybe I can make Sac State. What do you think?
Bro,
You got to walk on at Sac State. You know how many
should
walk on
easily be
things
able-
I've seen on
you
X? Hey,
should
if
you
you're a
should easily
college
be able to
student,
make it
go
on.
look at X, bro. Go look at X. Go find a walk-on. Go walk on somewhere. Why not? What do you have
Yeah,
to lose?
I've seen, like, Boise State's done that for. What I'm curious is, like, obviously all post like open
You walk on
tryouts.
to be
Like,
the water
what
boy?
are the
Like, what are you
what are the
walking on
chances?
for?
What's I'm saying? Like, what are the chances that you actually go to a walk on tryout and actually make the team? Like, what
Tyler Crow.
was that through a
Tyler
tryout?
Crow was a walk-on. Skyview.
I knew that.
Tyler Crow was a walk-on. Yep. He's about the only guy that I know that
Cut forth.
was success. I mean, yeah. Skyview kid again. So apparently Skyview kids go try out for Boise State. All right. You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's so funny. Well, all right, let's jump into some Ask Brad and have
Sweet.
2 questions for you.
All right. No overthinking today. Just blurting out an answer
He's gonna overthink it so fast.
so fast.
All right, fine. I'll give you 10. So you don't overthink. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer this first question. What current Mountain West program or slash Pac-12 program, I'll just say like overall, either one, has the most all-time bowl appearances?
Seems easy.
Who's it?
I'm going to say Boise State.
Nah.
It's not Boise State. I mean, they have the most consecutive winning seasons in a while.
Winning seasons versus bowl
I
appearances.
know. But you think winning 6 games, that's a bowl appearance.
Yeah. So let's say Boise's done it, what, 20 sometimes?
Yeah. It's got to be some
The answer
old
is,
school.
what do you think is an old school in the Mountain West Pac-12?
Is it a team that would shock me? Like, would I be shocked by this question?
So Boise State has 24 all-time
Yeah.
bowl appearances.
Okay. That's
Fresno
probably more
State,
modern.
Fresno State is the most with 32.
Oh, okay. All right. I
And
see
the
you, Fresno.
second is Air Force at 30.
I mean, Air Force has been around for centuries.
Well, I mean, think about it. Boise State, like,
It's only
hasn't
from
been
what, the
FBS. Like, you have to
19
be, well, it has to be in the FCS or FBS era.
FBS. Yeah.
Yeah. So, whenever they jumped up, plus they really weren't good for a while when they were up here. Like, we used to
Yeah.
lose to Idaho all the time. So
True.
it's not a bad
But
guess.
now, yeah. I mean, I've had worse ones so far.
I would not
Johnny
have guessed
Manziel
Fresno.
was pretty. I wouldn't have either.
Yeah.
When I think
or
of an
even
old
Air Force
school,
or Air Force.
Yeah.
When you think about how bad Air Force has been in football, and I think of Air Force, and you hear
Yeah.
Air Force at 30, that's pretty crazy.
dude, I think I sent it to you the other day. That stat of Oregon and Air Force, and I think maybe Wyoming, their basketball teams like lost more games than it was something crazy like their basketball teams didn't get as many wins as their football team did, or something like that this season. It was,
That's crazy.
I was sitting there and I was like, what are you doing? Like, also, Oregon's basketball court is the ugliest thing in the world. Can we agree on that? TCU's close.
You don't like TCU?
There's not much C in that TCU, is there?
Kind of like TCU.
You just like gray.
No, it's the scales. It's the Horned Frog scales. That's their
but
court.
I like their purple helmet more. I wish it was purple. Make a purple court, and I'll like it.
That could be cool.
Not the LED
Oregon's-
court, Big 12. That's trash.
Oregon's isn't bad. It's not like the worst. It's not the best. It's hard to
pretty
watch a game
tough.
on.
That's pretty tough.
They updated it. I don't know if you saw
No, they
this
sucked
year's.
this year.
Yeah, it's a
Barely
little
did
like it used
anything.
to. It's the same like feel, like the
Okay.
trees surrounding the courts,
trees.
but it's
Okay.
not as dark. I feel like it's easier to watch something on.
Okay.
My favorite court, and I didn't really see it until I was watching Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember who they were playing. They got upset. Women's basketball, Ohio State, they lost in their Notre Dame. That's who it was. Lost
Okay.
Notre Dame in March Madness. But Ohio State's basketball court is so clean. It's like,
Is it?
and yes, it is gray. It is a gray court
You heard
with
it here
this,
first, bro.
I know, with the like Buckeye script over the middle, and then it's like a red outline over the top, like on the outside of the
Oh, all
court.
right.
And it is just so clean
right.
looking.
We'll put a picture of it on Instagram for you later. Sky's right. It is pretty clean. It's not too overdone.
It's just
And
like
it-
there's something, yeah.
At
There's
least it
something
has
about
red.
it. It just
There's
looks
a red
clean.
outline too. It's great.
That's what I'm saying. The red pops. It makes the
It
red
does.
really pop. It looks nice,
It's great.
but
All right, good on you, Fresno. Also red. Well, technically they're maroon
Yeah. Well,
when I
Ohio
looked up
State's
their
technically
colors.
scarlet. Scarlet
And
red.
their
They will
their mascot's a
come after
nut.
you for that. Bro, they wear weed leaves on their helmets.
Yeah, they do, bro. Is it legal there?
I tried having a conversation with somebody about this, and I was like, growing up, I grew up in Oregon, and so it's like, you see pot leaves all over the place in terms of
It
icons and stuff. And so growing up, I'd see Ohio State Buckeyes like flags and water bottles, and I was like,
dude,
why?
it
Why would
literally
you,
is.
I'm like, why would you care? Why would you put carry a pot leaf water bottle around with you? Like that's genuinely what I thought growing up.
Nut
Obviously,
flower. I don't know, man.
it's the like the leaf of a Buckeye, and I lived there for a couple of years, and so I made it known to all Ohio State fans that I was like, for one, I can't stand Ohio State, so sorry. I'm going to cheer for Michigan, and Michigan won every year that I lived there.
They also
But
cheated.
they also cheated.
But who
But then I made the like statements, and I was like, you're telling me that this does not look like a weed leaf,
No, they know
like
it does. They just don't want to. They know it does.
unfortunately,
I did look up if they when they legalized marijuana, and it was in 2023. So they can't even say that they were. Yeah, I think
this took such a different turn than I thought it was going to take.
there you go. Hey, at least it's not we leave. We leaves on the court. All right, Ohio State, don't do that.
I tell you
Not
what,
even a West
Buckeyes,
school. What are we doing?
the best. I know, and now we're going to talk about it for a second. The best thing. So Buckeyes, we'll post a clip of a Buckeye. Like, have you ever seen a Buckeye? Do you know what a Buckeye looks like?
Yeah, it's a brown nut.
Yeah, essentially. So it's like dark brown, and then it's like the top has
Yeah.
it's like lighter brown. The best like treat thing that they make there, it's like peanut butter balls dipped in chocolate, and then they look like a Buckeye, and they call them Buckeyes. I love chocolate and peanut butter, and so I thought they were legit. So
So like ripping off
Ohio, I
Reese's.
don't.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, essentially,
Not a
like
sponsor.
not a sponsor. So Ohio
Neither
State
is
fans,
Ohio State.
I don't like Ohio State. Don't like Ohio State for a lot of reasons, but Buckeyes, I'm always down with. Those might be one of the best treats out
All
there.
right, we got to go to Ohio for a football game. When's a West school playing now?
It's a sick stadium.
It's a toilet bowl.
I wish I would have gone. That's my biggest regret is when I lived out there, I never went to a game there.
Dang, bro, that's
That
tough.
was it was a pretty big disappointment. I should have done that.
You should have went to the bowl, toilet bowl. If you've never looked up what
Yeah.
their stadium looks like, there it is. Literally is a toilet bowl.
But it's crazy to think that stadium holds over 100,000 people.
That's wild, bro. Actually, doesn't Michigan hold more?
Yeah,
The big
but I'm
house
saying like
holds
even,
more, right?
but even that
They
like that makes
sell
sense to
out,
me.
too.
But that makes sense to me because it's more out and like goes up, and it's
Yeah.
like just completely flat. But like Ohio State Stadium, like the footprint is not very big. It's just very vertical, and then they go down like into the ground. So it's just like completely packed in there. It's a really cool looking stadium. I'll give them that.
Their
Like,
band.
it's one of the more historical ones.
Holy,
Obviously,
bro.
history with the band and the dotted I
Their
and
band
all
is
that. Like,
it's mainly the reason I want to see them.
yeah, it's
Make
I
a
mean,
natty so they show you. Make a natty so they show you on the field, please.
It's
Also,
one of the, I
can
mean,
we
it's
do
one of
that
the
more?
reasons.
I don't want to watch the commentators. Look at this highlight that you already watched 7 times. I don't want to see that. Just show me the band, bro. You can see them on X all the time. You don't need to see them on TV again.
That's one of the
Also-
best parts about college football is just the tradition and the history like that. Like that's why games are so much better
Yeah.
than like even NFL. Like I've been to NFL games, like nothing outweighs. I've been to an NFL game in State Farm. I've been to a Fiesta Bowl in State Farm. Like you've been to the Fiesta Bowl as well. Like, the atmosphere is just a whole nother level. College football is like just always on a whole nother level. Everyone's
Yeah.
just more invested, and it's the history and the tradition. So
The European brain cannot comprehend.
I don't know, dude. Probably not. Like
Their
I mean,
chants are so cool, bro.
those soccer matches get pretty
Dude,
crazy.
they are. I want to go to one. So I've been to Europe the last 2 summers. We
I
have
can imagine
not
being in
seen
a
soccer
stadium with
game.
like flares and
Dude,
stuff like that going on. Like imagine if that happened at a college football game.
have you ever seen their chants, bro?
Yeah,
Their chants
Yeah.
are insane. Like
You
it's
get-
like you can say that.
no,
Like,
these schools would get fined by all the conferences. There's no.
well, you can't even do horns down anymore. Sorry. Yeah, there you go. Texas.
Yeah, it's
What a turn, bro.
that's like the dumbest penalty I think I've ever seen. So
As
Just
I would
it
be
should not be a penalty.
as the coach, one time. Let him do it once.
You're
I don't care.
that
First play
butthurt
of the
over it.
drive, bro. Quarterback goes,
If this is like, what other school is this a thing? Like, what other
yeah,
school can you like not like do that and you're gonna get a penalty? Like that's ridiculous. Texas
everything's
fans,
bigger in Texas. Apparently their emotions are too, because they can't take a freaking joke. So
like, grow up, Tech.
come on, man. You're not even bigger than Alaska, bro. They don't even have football. There's a high school in Alaska, bro. All right, West Coast. Here we go. There's a high school in Alaska
West
that
Coast,
plays
way West Coast.
literally way west. They can see Russia. That's how West Coast they are. My grandparents live up there. We could see Russia from their house. Pretty wild.
That's crazy. Also not sponsored by Russia.
Also not sponsored. They could though. Alaska wants to sponsor a trip up there. Anyway, they have a high school that literally plays next to an Arctic Ocean. Like it's so
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
it's wild. We have to have the two worst teams in college football. They should have to play at that school for a bowl.
That'd be pretty sick.
Kent State,
You
put
got
them
the
in
Hawaii
there.
Bowl.
Yeah,
Next is the
dude.
Alaska Bowl. That'd be awesome.
Week 1. Why not?
Week 1 Alaska Bowl.
That'd be crazy, bro.
It's not a bad
Anyway,
idea.
there you go. Hey, if we ever get big, bro, we're gonna sponsor that bowl. We're gonna do
Western Front Alaska Bowl.
it. Yep.
Or
Has
the
to be.
Alaska Bowl
And we get to
presented by the Western
commentate, bro.
Front. That'd be pretty sick.
It'd be so sick. All right, there's our goal.
As long as I get
Help
a
us
hot
reach
dog.
that goal, bro.
All right.
Yeah,
Second question. What current West Coast or Mountain West team was the first non-automatic qualifier / G type program to reach a BCS Bowl?
To reach a BCS bowl.
Yeah. And we're talking like,
Like, well, this isn't the big
but
ones.
like, yeah, it's like Fiesta
is.
Bowl,
Okay.
Orange Bowl, like basically like the New Year's Six, like what it used to be like the BCS Bowls, like that type of deal. It's
Okay.
BCS Bowl, New Year's Six, that type of caliber bowl. Who was the first non-automatic qualifying?
Non-automatic qualifying. Okay. So since you said West Coast, I know it's probably not a Mountain West school. I'm gonna think a little bit Pac.
I said Mountain. I said West or Mountain or West Coast, but
Okay.
that that includes like the Pac-12.
Right.
Granted, all the conferences were different back then, so who knows
Yeah.
what team this what conference this team was. I know. I'll tell you when you guess.
Okay. So, I mean, the first thing that pops in my head is a team like, I'm thinking a California school. I'm thinking UCLA might be the first, because they're not like the biggest program in California, but they're not the
I'll let
littlest either.
They still would have been a premier team.
At
They
that
wouldn't have been
point?
like they wouldn't
Okay.
have been like technically like a G5 at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been. I'll give you a pass on that one. Yeah, they wouldn't have
Okay.
like then USC, like probably
Oregon.
Cal, like those, because
Yeah.
of those programs always being like just kind of on the front end of
The
that.
bigger,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, they're not going to be on part of this. You got to think of a team that has moved conferences and moved up the ladder,
Okay.
or has still moved up, but like is still in the G5. One of the two.
Okay. So still, okay. So yeah, I was gonna say like Arizona State, but they're still a bigger conference. Moved up
Were
the
they way back
ladder.
then?
That's what I don't know either. I don't know that as well as I probably should. You know, why not? Let's go with Arizona State. Let's see if I think it could be an Arizona school, just because
It
I
is
feel like
not.
okay.
Current, if we're looking at where they are now, same conference. Current Big 12 school.
Oh,
It is Utah.
Utah.
2004,
Dang it,
Utah
bro.
was the first team.
I literally was like, it's ASU or Utah, and
So it's like,
Yeah.
Utah, in Mountain West, up to the
Yep.
Pac-12, up to the Big 12. Boise State was second.
Okay, yeah, with the
With
09 or 08, whichever one it
7.
was.
Yeah.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
We've
With
been to a lot of
the
those.
7 Fiesta Bowl.
3
I mean, 4.
and a half.
What's up with you in the halves?
Just like it, bro.
What is that? What is the half bowl? What is the half bowl for Boise State?
2020
2020, they didn't even go to a bowl.
half. Claim it.
I think
I think we're
they actually
staking it right now.
went to a bowl and they chose not to go to one.
It seems
No, it's been
disrespectful.
4 for Boise State, and they've all 4 been Fiesta Bowls, and they've won 3 of the 4.
Freaking Penn State. Gosh dang.
State.
Carter, bro. That guy ripped us up.
He was hurt for the whole second half.
He still ripped us up. His presence on the sideline.
Yeah, that Penn State team was tough. Tyler
Best
Warren.
Giants, best defender right now.
Bro, I know nothing about the Giants other than their cheeks. These cheeks. Dude, when the Patriots played the Giants, it was the best game ever. Dart got lit up, fumbles all over the place, kicker missed the ball. Like, it was just the best game ever for a Patriots fan.
Can New York football like be good again? Eli Manning ruined that.
The Jets just
Is
brought
it ever
back
since the butt? What was that? The
the
butt
butt fumble.
tackle? Yeah.
Yeah, Mark
Ever
Sanchez
since
running
that
into
point.
his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said Joe Flacco running into it. That's funny.
No, but speaking of Joe Flacco, he just re-signed with the Bengals. So, or not re-signed, he's signed a 1-year deal with the Bengals.
Tom Brady, come out of retirement, bro. Brett Favre
But
did
he
it
looked,
like at least
he looked,
twice.
he looked good in the
He
flag
looked
football
so
game.
good. He moved. He could be a hot
He
take.
moved.
He did,
I
bro.
like the one takeaway Brad had from
He
this
moved
flag
a
football
lot.
game was that he could move. It's not that he threw
Yeah.
darts; it's that he could move.
Nah, bro. He moved. Who's a team in the NFL right now? All right, last question. Who's a team in the NFL right now that could use a pocket passer
The Jets, the Dolphins, the Colts.
that could protect him?
Well, that's a whole nother story because nobody can protect any quarterback.
The Raiders right now,
Can't protect a quarterback.
dude. Their offseason's cracked.
Well, I mean, but they're going to draft Mendoza.
Yeah,
He also can't play for the Raiders.
he's like 40 years
He's a
younger
part.
than Tom.
He's a part owner. He's a part owner of the Raiders. He can't go
Doesn't
play for the
matter.
Raiders.
He can do that. There's probably a bylaw that says he
The
could
thing
come
would-
out of retirement for them.
He definitely could have played better than Phillip Rivers. I just don't know. Like once,
You know what?
once
I
the
really
hits
wanted
happen,
Phillip to do so good.
yeah, I
He
did
could
too.
still be a backup. He could still play. He's got like 80.
Yeah, but then at that point, like, would you rather be with your kids? Or would you rather just sit the bench?
Making $7 million a year.
Yeah, but you're missing like 3
It's
4
true, but
months.
like after 10,
It's true.
like how many firsts do you need to have?
Calling in a favor. I'm going to call up Tom and say Brad
Bro,
Curtis wants to play
moved.
quarterback
For the Raiders.
for the Raiders.
Man, I'm stepping it up.
He wants to be the fullback for Ashton Genty. He'll take that first hit for you.
I'm his height. We're same height, bro. We lock eyes with each other. I don't know.
Bro, I want to see you and Genty go 1-on-1. See who can tackle.
You know what would happen, bro. Oregon's got to pick me up first.
Boom.
I'll make a video with Dan Lanning. All his recruitment videos are going wild, bro. Yeah, and then the recruit doesn't go to your school. That's pretty embarrassing.
So what is your video going to be? You just getting trucked by Genty trying to get Boise State recruits?
Yeah. Be
For
like,
every recruit that can,
look, this is what happened. This is what Genty did to your defense. Let me on your defense.
Every Power 4 transfer that comes to Boise State, Brad will let Genty just absolutely truck him.
Yeah. Come on over. I'll just need some
dude, Genty might be
money.
the most ripped guy I've ever seen. That dude is huge.
It's true, bro. Well, it's because he's short.
Even then, he's
me.
but he's just absolutely shredded.
That's why Dan Lanning should get me on his team. I have 4 years of eligibility.
All right, everybody tag Dan Lanning on Twitter. Let's get Brad to Oregon. Brad's got eligibility somewhere. He's never played college football. He's got eligibility.
Played intramurals in college. We won intramural championships all day long. We had the best team out there. It was pretty easy.
I wish you luck on your recruitment journey to Oregon.
Thanks, bro. Yeah.
Well, everybody follow along. We'll see.
I am not flexible, bro. My reach, sit and reach was the worst thing in school for me, bro.
That's probably not a good thing to say as I'm trying to pitch your recruiting.
My bad. Hey, Dan, I'm really good at stretching, bro. Oh my gosh.
Man.
For more crazy content, you can find us on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Just everywhere.
YouTube.
We're on all socials. Just find us.
For our live shows, for our VODs, you can find us on YouTube and Spotify. We want to do, and I hope we do, some sort of live video this weekend. Maybe Sacramento State will put me on their team. I've had lots of offers so far.
Might do a little 20, 30-minute live show. We'll see.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout. Well,
Tell
if
us
we
in the
do,
comments if you want that.
yeah,
Tell us
if
in
we
the
do,
comments
we'll
if you don't
keep
want
it
that.
posted.
Just tell us in the comments. Just comment. Please.
Brad's about
Teaching's
to.
getting hard, bro.
It's like one of those dog commercials, like sad dog commercials.
Please
Brad's just
adopt the
like,
dog.
Brad's just like, please.
This dog
please
doesn't have
comment.
any food, even though we give him food every night. Please adopt. Sad dog.
We're gonna
4 years
adopt
of
Brad into your
eligibility.
football program.
All right. Probably 6. I mean, everybody's quarterback has 7 years of eligibility. I mean, probably 8 at this point. 9.
All right, guys. Well,
I'm only 25.
be on the lookout for Brad's recruitment journey,
video. Yep.
and be on the lookout for a potential live episode coming in the next
On Saturday or
week.
Sunday this week.
Yeah.
Live show
Right.
from Giants Stadium. I think that'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Interview Aaron Judge. I'll pull some strings.
Hey, Aaron, why'd you go 0-3 with the WBC
Cal
title
Rowley.
on the line?
You're supposed to represent Seattle. You barely did anything, bro. You had like 8 pass balls. I'm sorry, your whole MVP journey last year was, he's such a good defender. Well, not during the WBC, all right? Can we fix that? Get a catcher who can catch the ball. Did you see Austin Wells? Austin Wells played for the Dominican. That guy's the whitest boy in the world. He played for the Dominican, okay? And he did 10 times better than any of our guys. Gosh. Well,
But we'll end it there, I guess.
see you in the next one.
See you guys next week.